Dancescape is a repertory concert of dances created by very talented student choreographers, guest artists, and faculty members. I've been here at Winona State University. I started in the fall of 1989, so I've been here, this is my 31st year.
I love telling stories. I'm a big narrative person, telling stories through dance. I love Dancescape. It's one I always get excited. It's like, oh, I have dance tonight, or I get to see my friends tonight, da da da. And I think that's another reason why I love Dancescape so much, is because it introduces you to so many new people. One of my dancers I met freshman year of Dancescape as well, and she's now my roommate, so it's kind of crazy how Dancescape and just the dance program and dance in general brings people together. There's a variety of pieces from every choreographer. Every choreographer has their own style, their own tendencies, their own little grooves that they get into, so it's really cool to see the variety that we have.
Those student pieces are auditioned and go through a revision process and a feedback process. There's a lot of peer mentoring that goes on. So what you see in the final show has been honed over time. And the students have projects that they've really researched and developed.
So this year, with COVID and everything, it is a film festival instead of actually performing in the Performing Arts Center. And honestly, it is very different, but I like how different it is because we get to experience filming with film team, and just putting the whole thing together as more of a movie is fun to see, the steps in the process, than just perfecting it to perform in front of an audience. And it is very different because of COVID, but different in a good way.
My experience with Dancescape this year has been very different. It's been very different for everybody. We haven't had the rehearsal space. We have to adjust super fast. But I think that the pandemic making us, pushing us to do a film festival this year has been a great learning experience for many choreographers. I know it has for myself, because I've never made a dance film before. I've never really thought about what a piece would look like on film of mine. So learning how to do that, learning how to edit, collaborating with filmmakers, I think it's been a really positive experience. Even though it has been really difficult to adjust, it's been a really beneficial experience for us all.
I'm really happy Dancescape is still able to run, even with the precautions like mask wearing, social distancing, but we are still allowed to go in the studio or meet outside, which is really nice because right now with online school, I just sit in my apartment and do school and then go to bed. It's like a constant cycle. So having dance is a nice break from school and stress, and yeah.
I think that dance is a lot of, especially for many of us dancers, is a big escape, and anytime we have dance or rehearsal, it's a time for us to come together, dance, forget about whatever else we have going on, and just be with each other and move. So I'm so glad that Dancescape is happening, even though we haven't had nearly as many rehearsals or opportunities to meet in person with each other. It's still a great time to come together and see each other every so often, because with the pandemic and not being able to see your friends, it's really nice to come back to a studio, a large studio for a rehearsal time, or even meeting over Zoom for feedback showings and other stuff like that. I think it's been a good way to keep in touch.
So the difference for me, I would say, is when you work all the way to February and get to perform on stage, you have that built up excitement and adrenaline. Yeah, you have that built up adrenaline and you're ready to perform, and then after that, from a performance mindset, after that performance you're wow, that was really fun, and you're hyped up, and you're still excited for the film festival, but it's not as much as that built up excitement and good anxiety,